In today's video, I'm going to be doing 2 or 3 DIYs. The one is this bottle. I'm going to try to take this writing off and then do a little something with it, but I'm not sure with what I'm going to do it will work, but I'll attempt it. If it works, I'll share it. If not, I won't. But there's going to be 2 that I'm going to do for sure today. The first one I'm going to work on is this painting I picked up at the thrift store when we went thrifting. You've already seen that video. And you know I want to, excuse me, this throat, tone down the gold around this frame. So what I'm going to do, I've never done this before, so this is all, I've seen it done many times on different crafting channels, but I've never done it myself. So I'm a little bit nervous about it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to roughly sand, or lightly sand I should say, this because it looks like there might be some kind of a finish on it. And then I'm going to give it at least 1 coat of this truffle chalk paint. I'm going to let it dry completely, and then I'm going to give it 1 or 2 coats of the ivory. I'm going to sand it to age it. I don't know, that's not the right word. You know what I'm talking about. Make it look aged and worn. So the first thing I need to do is cover up the actual picture. I'm not going to attempt at all to take this out of the frame. This has been professionally framed and I don't want to mess with it. So I'm going to go ahead and get some newspaper taped down all the way up to the edge here. When I get that done, I'll bring you back and we will start the sanding process. I have the first coat of the brown on, and I didn't get a perfect coverage, but that's okay because I wanted this to look kind of distressed. But I did notice that the newspaper just was not doing a very good job of keeping the paint off. So I ran over to Dollar General. I needed to go over and get something else anyway, and I picked up some painter's tape. And I think that's going to make a big difference. So I'm not going to put a second coat of brown. I'm just going to go ahead and put on some of this ivory. And I don't know, I may not even have to sandpaper it to distress it. We'll see. Hopefully it turns out good. Now I went to use this chalk paint and it is completely dried up. So what I'm going to have to do, I don't have any other like ivory or off-white. I'm going to take some of this white acrylic, which is Olivia's, and this nutmeg, which also is Olivia's. I'm going to mix them together and make my own little off-white paint. Ugh. Today has been one of those days where nothing seems to be going right. So while that paint's drying, I'm only going to put 1 coat on because, like I said, I'm going to distress it anyway. But while that's drying, I am going to try my hand at getting this decal off this bottle. Olivia suggested I use acetone, so that's what I'm going to try. Acetone didn't work at all, didn't budge it. I tried using like a razor blade, that didn't work either. Olivia looked online, someone suggested soaking it in apple cider vinegar for an hour. So I'm going to do that, and if that doesn't work, then I'm just going to cut out some sort of an image and glue it on there. As far as the apple cider vinegar goes, look, it's working. I've already wiped it once. I didn't film it because I was very skeptical that it would work. So I put it back in to soak some more, and my goodness, it really, really works. Look at that. That is awesome. I'm going to rub that just a little bit more, and then I'm going to soak this side. Alright, the next project I'm going to work on is this little box that I got from JoAnn Fabrics. It's so adorable. And I think those are strawberries hanging down. Not 100% sure. I thought they were either strawberries or raspberries. And I have these faux raspberries that I'm going to incorporate in the little flower arrangement that I put on here. So we're just going to say they're raspberries. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this nutmeg, add some water to it to make it like a stain, and then I'm going to use my foam brush and some paper towels, and I'm just going to give this a nice stain all over it after I take the stickers off, of course. And it lights up, but you got to pull that little tab, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till after the stain's done before I do that. Alright, so this is all dry, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this floral foam and I'm going to hot glue it on the these two sides, the sides that don't have the cutout, and to push the florals down into, because I don't want to put anything that's going to block the cutouts from the light. And I got this new glue gun. My hot glue gun that I had before, I had for probably 25 years, and it finally died on me when I was trying to do my last project. I had to end up using Olivia's glue gun, and providentially, a couple of days later, I got a notification from a company that wanted me to try out a glue gun, and they would send it to me for free, and then I would just give a review on Amazon. So I got this new glue gun the other day. This is the first opportunity I've had to try it, and so yeah, it comes with this really cool stand and everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. Got a new curling iron, a hot glue gun, and didn't cost me anything. So the foam that's in there is not tall enough. So I'm gonna cut another piece about the same size and stack it on top of there. So I really like this hot glue gun. I love the tip. The tip is real narrow. It's got a dual temp control on the side. And then I was really surprised it came with glue sticks and some finger protectors. So I'm very, very impressed. It's the Monvict CE. I will link it in the description box below if you're in need of another hot glue gun or a new hot glue gun. Well, this DIY, quote unquote, isn't really much of a DIY. It's more of like an instructional video on how to get white painted on logos off of glass bottles, because that apple cider vinegar worked like a charm. Now, on the article that Olivia wrote, it said soak it for an hour. Took longer than an hour. I would say a good 2 hours, but it came off so good. So all I'm going to do with this bottle is I'm going to make this the front because I really like that hobnail thing, and I'm just going to take some of this like antique lace ribbon that you can get at Dollar Tree. I'm just going to tie a simple bow. I'm not sure, this is a long piece of ribbon. I'm not sure how, I don't want to cut it off until I know how much I'm going to need, but I'm just going to tie a simple bow. Okay, I'm going to cut off a little bit and retie it so it has longer tails. I'm going to go ahead and trim the bottoms a little bit shorter. And then I'm just going to put some spring flowers, just a couple of little sprigs in, and call that good. I will place it and show you where I put it. It's going to be hard to see it very well because this window is backlit, but I love putting my blue glass in the window because the sun shines through it and makes it look so pretty. I think you can tell that. I'm not sure, from my vantage point looking through the camera, you can kind of see the sun shining through there, but don't know what it'll look like when I edit this video. But I will come in tonight and take some pictures of this when the sun is not shining through, obviously, when it's dark. So, but I just really like how that turned out, and I love how I can just change the flowers out in it, or even just leave it without any flowers in, like that vase doesn't have any flowers in it. So that was a cute little, quick, easy DIY and a learning experience. Here's a picture of it at night when the window's not backlit, and as you can see, or if you've noticed, I've actually got two of them because there was a little bit of a miscommunication with Olivia and I when we bought those bottles. I thought she wanted a bottle to keep, and she thought I wanted 2 bottles to keep, so she didn't want it. So anyway, now I've got 2, and she said, well, she thought I might want it just so I could have a matching pair, and she's probably right. So I ended up doing the other one exactly the same way, and I have it here on my windowsill in the kitchen. I have both of them. And during the day, when the sun is shining through my stained glass picture and through all that blue glass, it is just so pretty. I wish I could get a good picture of it, but I can't. And I am just so happy with how that picture turned out. I think lightening the frame made a world of difference. It pulls the white flowers that are in the painting out. And honestly, when it was still the gold frame, I never even noticed those white flowers. Soon as I painted it white, those white flowers just popped. And I'm like, oh wow, those look so good. And Olivia had the idea of changing the florals out in the sconces to kind of match the painting, which I think that was a really, really good idea. And those are some more of the cherry blossoms. Those pink ones are the cherry blossoms, which match the flowers that are in the blue glass bottle. And I'm not sure what the pictures, the flowers are in the painting. Poppies maybe? I'm not really sure. If anyone knows what those flowers are, I don't know if they're poppies. They might be peonies, I don't know. But that red flower there is a peony, and Olivia said it kind of matched, well, it looked like those flowers, but I don't know. I'm not real great on flower identification. So I just love how that looks. And let me show you where I put the cat picture. There's a bit of a glare on the glass, but that's can't be helped. I put it here on the back wall in my living room. This is where that painting was that had the dark, kind of the dark fall colors and the pumpkin. That painting I got at a garage sale for like $5, and I liked it, but I just really like the way this painting or this picture looks on this wall. It has totally lightened up the mood of the wall, if that makes any sense. It makes my shelves pop out. My shelves were kind of just like part of the background with that big dark painting there, and I really like the way this looks. You know, you don't think about just changing one little thing can make everything look so much better. That painting, that pumpkin painting, had been hanging there for 23 years or 24 years since we moved into this house. Never in my wildest dreams thought I'd ever change it, but I'm telling you, I love this cat painting here. I think it makes the painting look, or it's not a painting, it's a picture. I think moving it to this wall made this picture look better and made my wall look better. Now, I didn't get rid of that oil painting. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to put it, but I haven't gotten rid of it. Currently, I stuck it in my closet, and I'll do something with it eventually, but I don't know where yet, and I don't want to go putting screws in the wall unless I'm sure that's where I want to hang it. And the nice thing about putting this picture here is I didn't have to put any more holes in the wall. It just hung right on the screw that was currently there. And the same goes for the picture that's in the dining room. I didn't have to move any nails or screws or anything. It fit perfectly there. And then the last DIY I did today was this little, I don't know, shadow box, I guess you could call it. I just love how this turned out. I absolutely love how this turned out. Olivia looked at it and she agrees. She thinks those are raspberries because strawberries don't grow on a stem like that typically. But I mean, it could be little strawberries, little wild strawberries, I don't know. But I just love that I had raspberry picks to use in it. And originally, I didn't put this on camera when I did this, but originally when you looked through, especially like the mouse, you could see all the busyness from the stems of the flowers and the floral foam and stuff, and I just didn't like that. So Olivia helped me come up with the idea of putting a piece of paper back behind there, and that's actually some tracing paper. We didn't want to use copy paper because it would be too thick. Didn't want to use tissue paper because that would be too thin. So tracing paper, or if you have wax paper, worked perfectly. The light still shines through, but you can't see any of the busyness back there, and it just looks more finished. And I just am thrilled with how that turned out. All right, friends, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. I don't normally do 3 DIYs in one video, but these were quick other than the painting. Other than that, that took me pretty much all day waiting for paint to dry. What's that saying about you'd rather watch paint dry than do a chore or whatever? Well, I spent all day waiting for paint to dry on that one, but otherwise it was super easy. Yeah, I'm not great at distressing, but I think it turned out well. It was a nice practice run for me on distressing things. All right, friends, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And in the comment section below, tell me which one of these 3 little DIYs you liked the best. Thanks so much for watching, friends, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.